and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulishov, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across.
It's time for Business 300. It wasn't that time before, but now it is. And that's because there's a time and season for every matter. There's a time to listen to Business 300, and there's a time to get to work. My kids are learning when it's time to stay quiet and time to play wild, when it's time to focus and time to rest. It's a lesson for all of us. Seasons are inescapable for those of us who live under the sun. New growth starts with the spring and culminates to a high glow before coming to a close for winter. All of life is seasonal. Business isn't any different. Its existence is also under the sun. As in all of life, there are times of intense growth and times when you may need to scale back. And both have their own challenges. Wisdom is knowing which season you're in and doing your best to be cheerfully relevant to the present context of your business. Yes, cheerfully relevant. Not complaining while you move in the wrong direction, but being relevant to your context and cheerful about it. I have 2 things for your consideration on how to go about having that perspective. First, we always need to remember and acknowledge that no season is permanent. Change in circumstance should be expected. If we're in an economic downturn, we should remember that it probably won't always be this way. If we are thrilled with our current success, we also need to remember that it won't always be this way. As Kipling wrote in his famous poem, "If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 impostors just the same." Expecting seasons to change helps us to remain cheerful and relevant to what's going on today. It not only affects our attitude, but our tactics and methods as well. We ought to behave differently depending on what season we're in. The second way you can remain cheerfully relevant is knowing that although your context and surroundings change, your business's purpose remains constant. You behave differently in different seasons, not because your mission changes, but because it doesn't. If your mission includes building up a real estate business, you may need to change your tactics depending on where the real estate market is at. If your mission includes serving customers in your direct-to-consumer business, your tactics of brick-and-mortar versus online sales may need to be adjusted or redirected depending on what feedback the market is giving you. Different seasons may require you to change your approach to fit the context, but that's only because your objective remains the same. Sometimes you rev the engine to look for more work, and other times you say no to new opportunities. Sometimes you have to organize a second shift, and other times you have to rearrange responsibilities and downsize. If your aim to head north is blocked by a swamp, you may have to turn left before going straight again. But you turn left not because your aim has changed, but because you're still trying to go north. Your application of your purpose might change, but that's not because your purpose has changed, but precisely because it remains the same. So those are the 2 things to consider in order to remain cheerfully relevant in every season of your company. First, expect things to change and adjust your tactics. And second, keep your purpose constant instead of being frantic. The point is this: adjust as necessary without freaking out. Both change and constancy is what's necessary.